There's no necessarily an immediate threat to supply, but it's a concern of what might happen next that's sending prices higher.
Yeah, it's concern about escalation, as our guests have been saying. It is the concern that this could become a devastating proxy war involving both Iran and U.S., and then the concern, would there be disruption in supply? Right now, there isn't any, but even with that, you're seeing gold up. It's been up as much as just over 1%. And then the crude up better than 3%. And at the start of trading with Brent crude, we saw just in the past hour, our price is well above 4%. So that's a significant jump on this news. You're looking at the Strait of Hormuz. That is a critical shipping lane for oil. Iran has exerted control over it many times over the past decades. Most recently, there was a conflict in July of this year. There's also the possibility that the U.S. could, enforce any kind of sanctions against Iran or limit its powering of exports to put more oil on the market. So all of that makes the oil story very volatile. And what you're looking at is the impact of OPEC plus voluntary cuts, which have been extended all the way to the end of the year. They have really put a squeeze on supply in the last 2 weeks, and that drove prices, particularly Brent, within striking distance of $100 just 10 days ago. And then the concern about macro events and other issues, including the rising inflationary issues, interest rates, et cetera, that caused oil to pull back. It now looks like oil is retracing that area and moving higher once again. How high do we go from here? There's a view right now until there's more information on how expansive this might be. This may be the limit of the jump we see, but volatility certainly has been layered in a whole new way as this war news hits the market.
What are we hearing from analysts at this stage?
Well, analysts are saying it really depends on the details we get on whether the strike is far more violent, whether it's by land, by sea, by air, all of that. Whether Israel, for instance, might have a retaliatory strike against Iran as more details are coming out about the depth of Iran's involvement in supporting Hamas. Of course, they've always been a supporter of Hamas, as we just heard. They're also a major producer of oil. So the extent to which Iran is drawn into this, and possibly the U.S., could, again, ultimately determine how high oil goes. There is also the fact that this is coming, these hostilities, almost 50 years to the day of the incident back in the 1970s where we saw an oil embargo, and that drove prices 3 times higher in the 70s. There's no sign that this would repeat here. This is a very different type of conflict. But again, all of these add to the unease, and anyone who had been short betting that oil prices go lower from here clearly is repositioning at this hour.